Now at 5, touring the tragedy.
Today, we have one job, and only one job.
President Biden in Southwest Florida.
And that's to make sure the people of Florida get everything that they need.
Visiting areas ravaged by Hurricane Ian and meeting with families.
To fully, thoroughly recover.
CBS 4 has live team coverage on recovery efforts following Ian's wrath.
The death toll in the wake of Ian continues to climb.
At least 105 people have been killed just here in the state of Florida. Officials say 55 of the deaths are in Lee County. They say more deaths are expected as FEMA crews go door to door in 11 different counties searching for survivors. Today, the first residents were allowed back on Sanibel Island.
CBS 4 has live team coverage on the president's visit and recovery efforts in hard-hit areas, including a disenfranchised community.
But let's begin with CBS 4's Christian Benavides live in Fort Myers Beach with more on the presidential visit. Christian?
Lauren and Elliot, we saw both President Biden and Governor DeSantis putting aside their political differences today. Meantime, during his visit, President Biden said it will take not weeks, not months, but years for parts of Florida to recover. President Biden and the First Lady got a bird's eye view of Florida's disaster zone Wednesday, seeing just how much destruction Hurricane Ian brought to the southwest coast. Fort Myers, once a beachfront paradise, now unrecognizable. Back on land, the president was briefed on the recovery and response efforts. Florida officials say statewide they've distributed more than 34 million bottles of water and more than 9 million shelf-stable meals. President Biden also met with residents and small business owners, pledging cooperation among all levels of government to help people.
We're thinking of you, and we're not leaving. We're not leaving until this gets done. I promise you that.
Republican Governor Ron DeSantis, a vocal critic of the Biden administration, has praised the ongoing cooperation that began even before the storm.
We were very fortunate to have good coordination with the White House and with FEMA from the very beginning of this.
We have very different political philosophies, but we work hand in glove.
Earlier, the governor announced the opening of a temporary bridge to Pine Island, cut off from the mainland since last week.
We wanted to make sure that they were not isolated or forced to even have to leave the island that they love.
Recovery centers and volunteers are providing supplies to struggling residents and encouraging others to get involved.
It's not what you have in your pockets. It is what you have in your heart.
FEMA's damage assessment is ongoing, but it could be one for the record books. We're also learning that residents are now being allowed back onto hard-hit Sanibel Island, but they're going to have to find their own way there. As we all know, there is no access by land. Prior to today, they had a 24-hour curfew. Live in Fort Myers Beach, I'm Christian Benavides.